Number three on the news here. We're going to talk about the comic War of the Bounty Hunters #1. So,
Mhm.
this is a comic that follows the journey of Boba Fett delivering Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt, following the events of Empire Strikes Back. Now, there's a little spoiler we're going to talk about. So if you plan on reading the comic or you don't want to hear it, just mute us and
Yeah,
I'll do something crazy to tell you it's okay.
yeah.
But spoiler warning, here we go. Qi'ra, is that how you say that?
Yeah,
All right, that's what I thought. Qi'ra
from
is
Solo.
revealed at the end of the comic. So pretty big deal in my opinion. Like they didn't have to, bring her in, and I'm happy to see that they're recognizing Solo and pulling on that string.
Mhm.
What is your thoughts? You hear this? Go ahead.
Well, I love it because first of all, I loved Solo, a Star Wars story, even though it didn't make a bunch of money. I'm still here for a second one, but anyway.
Hashtag make
Uh
Solo 2 happen.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love the character Kira. I think there's tons of potential there, especially with the tease that they put at the end of Solo, a Star Wars story. But apparently, well, it's not apparently. We know this by now. So this comic is after Empire Strikes Back, which is a good like 10 years after Solo. So we got
Yeah.
a 10-year gap here where we know now that Darth Maul is not around. So Kira's got to be the head honcho of Crimson Dawn. So there is tons of potential here with this character. And we know it's a love interest of Han's. Um, and we know eventually before the sequels happen, Han and Leia have a falling out. Maybe this could imply that Kira's got something to do with it eventually. I think it's more so just like they said in the movies that Ben falling away to the dark side broke them apart. But anyway,
Mhm.
I don't know. I love Kira and I love Amelia Clark. She recently just had an interview talking about this, and she says she got emotional whenever she found out that they're bringing that character back. So here's where I really want to discuss this. Do you want this told in a comic book? Because I mean, Amelia Clark, I love her. I want to see her more. I personally want to see it more played out in a TV show. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I will be completely honest with you, and I'm going to wreck your dreams a little bit.
Okay.
I don't really need to see it,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
I didn't I don't know. She didn't latch on to me. Like I wanted to know more about her
Mm.
after watching Solo. Now I love Amelia Clark. She's my Khaleesi. Come on now. But again, I got to be honest. I don't want to lie to you guys.
Mm.
I think it's cool. I see it more as a Star Wars doing what it should do and pulling in these people and places and familiarities that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's what I like out of it more than the actual character itself. However, with you bringing up Crimson Dawn,
Mhm.
that's sick. Like I didn't really think about that of where she would be at this time, and I hope you're right, and I hope we get a lot more of that because that would be awesome because we're getting down into the underground type stuff, which is obviously where we love, and that's where the fans love. It's proving that with Mandalorian and even Bad Batch a little bit. We're getting into that stuff. So again, I think it's cool. I am not obsessed with it, but I'm good to hear that you are. I won't
Yeah.
lie.
No, that's fair. And I think that's a good representation of, I mean, the money shows it, a representation of what people thought of Solo. I mean,
Yeah,
it just
I,
wasn't enough to turn people out.
I like
I
Solo.
think overall people that watch Solo think it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just we've talked about this before. There was a lot of good movies out there during this time frame when they dropped it. It was coming off the heels of The Last Jedi, where people were like, "Oh, cancel Star Wars," or "We're not watching it anymore."
Yeah,
So there was a
a
lot of
lot,
things working against it. But overall, I think people say that it's just a fun movie, but maybe there just wasn't enough there to get people cranking.
and the way I talk about Solo is it's going to sound like a bad thing, but don't get me wrong, it's not. I like Solo a lot. It's a perfect streaming movie to watch.
Mm,
Like
hmm.
if I go and pay $30 at the theater, it's good, but I'm not like obsessed with it. If
Yeah.
I'm at home watching Solo and I put it on, never seen it before, I would love it because it's super fun. It's got amazing characters. I That's how I always put it. And
And
now
it's
again,
interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's interesting that you say that too, because I hear a lot of people talk about how now that they're watching Solo at home, there's way more interest in it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
I
that I
think
think
it's
that
just
adds to your
because
point.
it's not a amazing theater experience for me, but
Mhm.
it's the perfect at home watching on the in
Mm,
bed Star Wars movie for me.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see this.
Yeah.
Hashtag make Solo 2 happen. Let's get more Qi'ra in there. And I just let us know what you guys think. Are you
Mhm.
excited to hear this? Like, have you read the comic? I want to know more about it because, as you know, at least with me, I'm not huge into reading all the other books and comics and stuff. I'm more
Mhm.
of a general guy, and I'm getting more and more because of my boy Keller up there. He's digging me in, but I ain't mad, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anything else to add on Qi'ra before we move on?
I see what you're saying. I wouldn't be brokenhearted if they didn't do this as a TV show.
Mhm.
I look forward to the. It seems like they're going to play with the character more in the comic series, so I look forward to getting her that way. And other than that, nothing else to say about it. Spoilers are
Fair.
over though, so let's just like
Yeah.
wave our
Spoiler.
hands, come
Yeah.
back.
Unmute. Unmute.